used your hair. I used it for money. Every haircut, I stole their glory.
People were screaming. A young man was running barefoot on the road, his clothes torn, his eyes wild. He was shouting, "It's the hair! I used the hair! I used your hair for money!" Some people ran away from him, some stopped to watch. No one believed that this madman was once the most successful barber in the city. But before madness found him, before the shouting and shame, he was called Richard the Barber. Richard was a young man in his late 20s. He was tall, dark-skinned, and very handsome. When he smiled, people trusted him easily. His barbing salon was always full. Morning till night, the sound of clippers never stopped. Young boys, working men, even rich people sat on his chair. Some people traveled far just to cut their hair at Richard's place. "Guy, nobody barbs like you," customers always said. Richard would smile and reply, "It's God." But inside his heart, Richard was tired. Every night after closing his shop, he would sit alone and count his money. He worked very hard, yet the money still felt small. Rent was high, life was expensive. On social media, he saw people his age driving big cars and building houses. "This suffering is too much," he would say to himself. "Is this how I will work till old age?" One evening, while barbing a customer, the man was pressing his phone and laughing. "See money," the man said proudly. Richard forced a smile, but inside something broke. After the customer left, Richard looked at the hair on the floor. Black hair, plenty hair. He swept it quietly and paused. For a moment, he stared at it, longer than normal. Richard believed working hard was stressful. He believed legal money was slow. Some people are rich because they are smart, he thought, and some people are poor because they follow rules too much. From that day, something changed. Instead of throwing away the hair, Richard began to pack it carefully. After every haircut, he would look around to be sure no one was watching. He tied the hair inside black nylon and hid it. Customers laughed, joked, and trusted him. None of them knew that the hair did not end in the dustbin. One night, as he locked his shop, Richard whispered to himself, "If money does not want to come through the front door, I will open the back." And somewhere in the dark, a shortcut was already waiting for him. But what no one knew was this: every strand of hair on Richard's floor was carrying more than beauty, it was carrying destiny. Richard did not change overnight. At first, he only packed the hair and hid it under his bed. Every night, he would lie down and stare at the ceiling, listening to the sound of cars outside. His mind was always busy. People are getting rich every day, he thought. Why must my own life be hard? One evening, as he was closing his shop, an old customer stopped him. The man looked ordinary, but his eyes were sharp. "You work too hard, young man," the man said calmly. Richard laughed. "Hard work is good, sir." The man shook his head slowly. "Hard work without wisdom is suffering." Then he added quietly, "Not all money is earned with sweat." That sentence stayed with Richard like a song he could not forget. A few days later, Richard followed a friend to the outskirts of the city. That was where he met the herbalist. The place was quiet, too quiet. The old man looked at Richard for a long time before speaking. "You cut hair," the herbalist said. "Yes," Richard replied, confused. The man nodded. "Hair carries glory. When the head is touched, destiny is touched." Richard swallowed hard. "Can it bring money?" The herbalist smiled. "It already has." That night, the rules were made clear. No blood, the herbalist said, just hair. "But," he warned, raising one finger, "the more you bring, the more you take from others." Richard did not ask questions. His heart was beating fast. All he could see was money, fast money. The first time it worked, Richard was shocked. Customers came more than usual. People paid extra without complaining. Someone even dashed him money for no reason. Within 1 week, his shop changed. New chairs, new mirror, new generator. Richard laughed alone in his room. "It's working," he whispered. "It's really working." From that day, every haircut became different. As customers chatted and laughed, Richard watched their hair fall. Inside his mind, he was counting wealth. He packed the hair carefully and took it away at night. People praised him. "Richard is blessed," they said. But somewhere else, something else was breaking, and soon someone would notice. The first sign was small. A young man named Joseph woke up one morning and felt heavy. Not sick, just empty. His body was fine, but his mind was tired. Joseph was hardworking and responsible. He had a good job and a praying mother who always said, "My son, God will go before you." A few days earlier, Joseph had gone to Richard's barber shop. He even praised the haircut. "I like this guy," he told his mother. She smiled, "As long as your head is clean." 2 weeks later, Joseph lost his job. At first, he thought it was a mistake. He went back to the office. They told him the company was restructuring. He came home confused. Then things got worse. His phone stopped ringing, plans failed, peace left him. His mother watched him closely. "My son, something is wrong," she said. Joseph sighed. "Mom, I don't understand my life again." That woman was not just any woman. She was prayerful. She fasted often. She believed strongly in God. One night, she could not sleep. She prayed till her voice became weak. In the morning, she told Joseph, "We are going to church." At the pastor's office, after prayers, the pastor suddenly stopped. He held his head and said, "Your glory has been tampered with." Joseph's mother cried, "How?" The pastor replied slowly, "Through your hair." They were told to fast and pray for 7 days. During those 7 days, Joseph almost broke, but his mother did not stop praying. She cried, she shouted, she refused to give up. On the 7th day, peace returned. Joseph slept well for the first time in weeks. Slowly, doors opened again. But Joseph was lucky. Others were not. Some fell sick suddenly. Some lost their minds. Some never recovered. Families cried without knowing why. While mothers were praying, Richard was smiling. While destinies were shaking, his money was growing. And the hair kept coming. Money came fast, too fast. Richard bought a new car, then another. He moved from his small room into a big apartment. His barbing shop became bigger and finer. Air conditioner, leather chairs, big mirror with bright lights. People now called him boss. "Richard, you done hammer," they said. He laughed, but the laughter no longer reached his eyes. At night, sleep left him. He would lie on his bed and hear strange sounds in his head. Sometimes, he dreamt of people standing around him, holding their heads, staring at him without talking. He would wake up sweating. "Leave me alone," he shouted one night. But no one was there. The herbalist warned him one evening. "You are bringing too much hair," the old man said. Richard frowned. "Is that not good?" The herbalist shook his head slowly. "When you take too much glory, it becomes heavy." Richard laughed nervously. "I'm fine." But he was not fine. He became angry easily. Small noise annoyed him. Customers noticed. "Boss, are you okay?" one asked. "I'm fine," Richard snapped. But inside, fear was growing. Money was everywhere, yet peace was nowhere. One morning, Richard stood in front of his mirror and stared at his face. "Why do I look like this?" he whispered. His eyes looked tired. His smile felt forced. From that day, something started breaking. He forgot things. He talked to himself. Sometimes, he laughed alone in his shop. At night, he walked the streets without knowing how he got there. People began to whisper, "Something is wrong with Richard," they said. And then one morning, the money stopped making sense. The voices became louder. Richard held his head and screamed. The shortcut had reached its end. It happened on a busy afternoon. People were buying, selling, shouting, laughing. Then suddenly, a young man ran into the street barefoot. His hair was rough. His clothes were dirty. His eyes were wide and empty. He was shouting, "I used your hair. I used your hair to get rich." People stopped. Some laughed, some were afraid. Someone whispered, "Is that not Richard the barber?" Yes, it was him. Richard fell to the ground, holding his head. "The hair carries glory," he screamed. I took it all." He cried like a child, he laughed like a madman. People gathered, phones came out. The same man they once admired was now a warning. Within days, everything crashed. His cars were taken, his shop was locked, his money disappeared like smoke. Friends ran away, no one wanted to know him again. Richard wandered the streets, talking to himself, confessing to anyone who cared to listen. "I didn't want to suffer," he kept saying. "I just wanted to be rich." But it was too late. The city moved on, but the lesson stayed. Mothers warned their children, "Be careful where you cut your hair," they said. Pastors preached, elders shook their heads. Greed had destroyed another young man. And so the story ended, not with celebration, but with silence. Because in life, wealth taken from others will always return with pain. Shortcuts may look easy, but they lead to places no money can save you from. Moral lessons. Greed blinds wisdom. There is no peace in ritual wealth. What is stolen in secret will one day shout in public. Question for you. Would you still choose fast money if you knew the price was your peace? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe for more African folk tales that teach and warn.